Welcome to the God Soul. Today is called Guided Insights. It's all about the insights that I get when I'm walking in the beach, on nature, in nature. Today, I woke up feeling a little off. It's like this anxiety or something. It's slight, it's not crazy, but it's definitely what I have experienced pretty much my whole life, that I do feel dissipating, but I also acknowledge it's still there. As I'm doing deeper and deeper soul work, deeper and deeper breath work, it is so clear that it's all about this inner child and the way that the inner child perceived events, perceived actions, certain things that have happened. As a child, we don't know any better. We don't have the capacity to process occurrences and experiences in a mature, wise, intelligent, present way. We just know how to relate to it in a way that it is danger to us, since if we're not going to be loved and we're not going to be taken care of, we're in complete danger, right? Like as children, we don't have the capacity to do that for ourselves. So as we grow older, it makes sense that we still operate and process behaviors and things outside of us in the same way. And though it was true when we were babies, it isn't true as we get older. We don't process things in the most mature ways. We just continue to process them in the ways that are available to our understanding. And so it has been clear to me that a lot of my fears and insecurities that are so irrational are not my mature adult self. They are my child self operating in me that has not been tended to, that has not been acknowledged and processed in a mature way. So it's stuck in this place where everything is dangerous, or things that I perceived as danger in the past are still dangerous when they're not. Realities that I perceived as a child, as if the reality still exists now, and they don't. And it's not that you operate in this way, it's that you feel this way, and so it definitely influences the way that you operate. And I don't know about you, but I deeply desire to feel the true joy and unconditional love for self, for others, for the beauty of this world, and the fact that we get to experience it. I intend and desire to really fully, deeply feel that. There are moments that I do, and I'm certainly deepening that in me on a regular basis. But sometimes the mornings do bring, I guess it's like this automatic feeling of anxiousness or maybe pessimism. That's okay. I'm learning to relate to it in a way where it is evolving into a different place. And I actually heard one of my mentors, Kyle Cease, talk about this yesterday, where a woman was talking to him about how she had made all of this money and then lost it, and now she doesn't have anything to show for it. And he's just so brilliantly pointed out, show for it, which means that you're based on other people's perception and other people's view of what you've done or what you accumulated. Because if she really thinks about it, or if she really sees all that she has done and all that she has accomplished, then in no way does not having money in the bank indicate not having done and accumulated and created value that she has. And then he said to her, you know, the inner child in us doesn't grow up. We just have to kill him off. Like, he just has to die. And I know those words are like morbid or maybe triggering some people, but I feel like death and endings and, you know, that whole concept is taboo or is emotionally too much for some people, when the truth is it is a part of our life. And the deeper I explore my soul, the deeper I understand that the more you accept death and endings, the more you live in the present moment and in reality. Because our minds are able to make up fantasies that have us escaping from the actual reality, and then we just fall into this pattern of trying to live out a fantasy versus enjoying the reality that we live in. And I am certainly guilty of that. I know this for sure. In fact, I have completely come to understand that part of my identification in the being an artist and being this creator and making it as an artist, a lot of it was really based on a way that I was able to escape my reality. And there's nothing wrong with that. And whoever is in that pattern of belief, whether it's an escape or whether it's their reality, everybody's story is different. I just know that for me, I was able to escape my current present reality in this fantasy of the future, of what I'll create, of what I'll accomplish, of how people will love me and admire me, and then I'll feel loved, then I'll be unconditionally loved. Those are not truthful thoughts, because the truth is that in the present moment, I get to feel safe. Certainly needing to do work, certainly needing to overcome or process a lot of these erroneous beliefs and thought systems that we picked up as a child. It is called work for a reason, because we have to basically work at it. It doesn't come naturally or easily, or maybe it does come easily to some people. Is there anything crawling on my feet? I hope there's nothing crawling on my feet, because I'm looking at all these like crabs crawling on this wall. So what I have been really coming to understand is that this is a process of processing. This is a path of tuning into a soulful way of being, that the smaller self that we created as a child must die off. That maybe along the process of it, we think it's growing up, but it's not. It's just talking and whispering, and you recognize it and really understand it, place it where it's at, so that eventually, as the work deepens, you are able to live in your soulness through tuning to your soul, knowing that you are whole, knowing you are unconditionally loved, knowing that whatever it is that you love and are passionate about is available to you to do, to be, to have. Different circumstances may call for a different process or a different stage of this evolution, but it's absolutely available. And I can tell you from personal experience that it has not been easy to release, to let go of, to allow the dying of an old identity and a childlike fear and insecurities and ways I processed. And I'm able to keep the childlike curiosity that I had, the childlike imagination, and the difference between imagination and fantasy, the difference between having a vision of where you're wanting to go, of what you're wanting to create in your life, and escaping into a fantasy that is not the reality and that is actually taking you out of the moment. Certainly, there's a context by which you can fantasize, and there's a context by which to envision that is healthy and then actually adds value. And then there comes the context of fantasizing, escaping from reality, which I think a lot of like drug use and a lot of different uses for substances and all that can kind of contribute to. But only you know when you are truly tuning to your soul and something bigger is aligned and is calling for some things that are fear-based and that are scary. I've been thinking a lot about the question, what is the purpose of fear for the soul. It's been clear that the fear is indicating or directing you into a focus that is needed in order to fully feel your soul. That it's always available for you, but in order to really experience it, there are things in this physical world that will cause resistance, that will cause a reaction that initially would want you to stop. You know, that's the world of material, that's the world of polarity, that's the world of duality. Because in non-physical, we don't experience duality, we don't experience polarity that I know of. Nobody really knows what happens in non-physical. I mean, certainly there's people who have, you know, said that they had a near-death experience and went to the other side and came back. But as far as the understanding that I deeply own is that in non-physical, there is no duality, there is no polarity, there is no separation, there is just one stream. We wanted to experience the duality, the polarity, the resistance, the stream that has rocks and trees and fish and animals and all the other elements so that we can experience that. The beauty of that, the joy of that. For our own personalities, yes, things have come as children that continue to challenge us, but the work is always the same. We dig deep into these belief systems that do not serve us as adults. We process them in a way that can release them from our bodies, and then we're able to experience a fuller, more whole, more soul experience of life. And that's what I'm here to do. That's what I've been experiencing in my whole life. That's my mission, my soul's mission, to inspire, to teach, to bless, to encourage. I was writing in my journal this morning and I realized how the words encourage and courage, courageous, are all so interrelated. Because to encourage someone really is to have them overcome a fear or overcome a resistance or overcome some kind of hesitation. So I encourage you to breathe deeply today. I encourage you to face your fears with a different spirit. You choose the spirit by which you face fears, you face resistance, you face challenges. That is a choice. The spirit by which you choose. Do you choose to face it with courage? Do you choose to face it with determination? Do you choose to face it with resolve, like you're not strong enough to do anything about it? Do you choose to face it with anger? Anger is a little more of an emotion, but the spirit by which you choose to relate to challenges, you get to choose that. Your soul's always beaming the signal that once you tune to, you'll know it. You'll feel the resonance, you'll feel the harmonics. If you choose anger, if you choose indifferent, if you choose all of these ways to relate to challenges that is not in line with your soul, you feel that. You feel the darkness, you feel sadness, you feel anger, you feel all of these negative emotions because it's your soul that's beaming a signal that's directing you into what works, what will actually evolve, what will actually bring you the results of feeling your soul, your wholeness, your unconditional love for yourself, for each other, for the nature, for the beauty around us. We're not here to suffer. We're not here to just challenge ourselves and to live these terrible, hard, difficult lives. I don't believe that in my core, and my soul doesn't believe it, neither does your soul. So the decision of the spirit by which you choose to relate your challenges with makes all the difference in the world. And when you anchor yourself in with your breath, when you anchor yourself to what your soul is communicating, then you're harmonizing your entire world. You're harmonizing your experience in life. And then you attract completely different experiences. You attract different people. And your life just improves and changes and becomes fun and becomes play. And you can become just curious about all of these ways of functioning and operating, because these laws apply to everyone, anywhere. They don't only apply to certain people. It has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with the way that you operate. So today, beautiful soul, I encourage you to breathe deep in through your belly, deep out of your belly. I do this every day. I've been actually combining my hour meditation with deep, deep breathing, and it's been unimaginably valuable. But today, if you take 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to just breathe as deeply as you can into your belly, breathe out as deeply as you can, you're going to feel the calm, you're going to feel presence, you're going to feel a connection to your body, to your soul, to your true being. Because your soul is always beaming the signal of love, of freedom, of harmony, of peace. That's what we're here to experience. That's what's available for you. Even through my challenges and through the difficult times, I've been experiencing the peace, the harmony, the joy available to me through these tools, through meditation, through breathing, through writing, and through sharing this with people now, right? Because when you feel it, you want to give it, you want to share it, and it could be in different ways, different formats. Everybody has their different way of expressing it, but sharing it is part of it, whether it's for your kids, whether it's for your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, whatever, your family, your friends, your community. We're all in this together. And we're all elevating, we're all inspiring each other, or inspiring each other to do negative things. I certainly don't want to be of that, you know. I'm sure I've done that in the past, but my now and my future nows are really devoted to uplifting, to inspiring, to encouraging, to be courageous, right? The spirit of courage. That's been my mantra. My mantra is the spirit of courage, because it does take courage to face this. It does take courage to overcome these challenges, these beliefs, this inner child that wants to protect you, wants to protect itself from pain and suffering. But unfortunately, that is the emotion we must process through in order for the freedom to be experienced. I'm sending you so much love, so much courage, so much wisdom, so much inspiration. I hope to see you next time. Sending you so much love, and goodbye from the guided soul.